There you are! Ready for the show?
Depends. What's the plan this time?
You'll love it. We're killing two birds with one stone. The monolithians are all yours.
And what about the ward?
They're not your concern. I've got a little surprise cooked up for them. Just focus on the task at hand. While everyone's busy dealing with the mess at the checkpoint, you'll take over the underground comm center, then eliminate the leader of the monolith. I've thought it all through. This way, you'll come at them from their blind side. Any questions?
None whatsoever.
Now, we wait for the ward. We've got some time, so rest up and prepare yourself. We'll wake you up when it's time. Rise and shine, Skiff. It's time.
We have no other life beyond our devotion to him. For the monolith!
Getting hot.
Skiff, it's time to move on to the next phase of the plan. We've pinpointed the monolithians' HQ, if you can call it that. You know the drill.
STAR never told us they were goddamn super soldiers. Fuck, Weasel. Keep your mouth shut and stay focused.
Listen to me, brothers. For I am the word of the monolith. There will be no more pain, no more fear. The monolith has taken them and given us power instead. Rejoice, brothers. Those who are in eternal union with the monolith can never be stopped. You can't kill God. Stand above our heads.
Shelter me, monarch.
Killed him.
Whoever you killed. Move out, now. You must not be here.
You'd better explain why I had to kill the same guy over and over again.
They were illusions, phantom doubles, like those conjured by certain mutants. Who knows what other tricks the preacher has up his sleeve? Right now, he poses a greater threat to our cause than the Ward. Head over. Understand this tech, and come up with a plan to tackle those doubles.
Freeze. This is a secure facility. No rookie stalkers allowed. Limited access, special permit required.
I might be new around here, but I've been in the zone long enough to know that coupons are usually as good as a permit.
Keep it down. You want Ozerski to hear us? All right, I can tell you're not exactly a newbie. Hand me your permit and come on in.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Professor Ozerski, the director of STC-Malachite. If you intend to remain at the center, please avoid interfering with our work and treat all visitors with courtesy and respect. My colleagues frequently require stalker assistance to retrieve artifacts or conduct field experiments. Should you prove yourself capable, you may be entrusted with such assignments.
I'm looking for information about the Phantoms. A monolithian called Faust conjured doubles of himself during a fight. I want to know how this is possible.
And I want to never have to hear about this subject again. But I suppose you're luckier than I am. The doubles you witnessed are induced illusions caused by Psi influence within the Tau range. This Faust fellow appears to be employing older Psi consciousness technology. Psi consciousness were the ones who extensively researched induced illusions and their impact on humans. Have you heard about the Wish Granter? That's their handiwork.
See consciousness. That rings a bell.
It was a faction of idealistic scientists from Project X. They aspired to cleanse the noosphere of the dark manifestations of human nature, to make the world perfect. However noble their intentions may have been, their execution was rather poor. In June 2006, a decade after the discovery of the noosphere, they tried to establish an unauthorized connection to it. The experiment spiraled out of control, leading to the emergence of the zone. It now serves as a warning about the perils of impulsive scientific endeavors.
Where can I meet the Sea Consciousness scientists? I need to learn more about their technology.
You're a few years too late. Sea Consciousness ceased to exist in 2012 following the demise of all of its members. A stalker who goes by STALKER managed to reach the generators after deactivating the Wish Granter. Then he gunned down Sea Consciousness. Evidently, he didn't take kindly to being used as a guinea pig.
I want to know more about induced illusions.
I'm not entirely sure we still have any books with enough information here at the center. The STALKER archives would come in handy here.
I got them after the signal. They're saved on this flash drive.
Oh, that makes it so much easier. However, analyzing these archives will require a considerable amount of time, and I take it you need answers as soon as possible. Fortunately, the X network is up and running again. There's an abandoned mirror facility nearby. It was used to study induced illusions until 2008. If you can restart it and reconnect the mirror to Malachite, I could look for the information you need.
What exactly do I need to do?
Two things. Activate the visual projection center and calibrate the communication antenna. Mind you, configuring the antenna might require specific conditions. The older the equipment, the harder it is to set it up properly. I advise you to find an operations manual for the facility's engineering team and follow its guidelines to the letter. Talk to you later.
Do you know...
Incredibly no, but I know someone who could assist you. Richter. He used to be a guide, but now his work mostly revolves around finding people. He's just a man you need.
Do you know where I can find Richter?
When he's not busy with his clients, he usually frequents the 100 Rods bar in Rostock. Try looking for him there. You can ask our guide. He'll help you find your way there.
Here's the Polovin. No clinking glasses on this one.
You want to chat?
I need to find some people. S.T.A.L.K.E.R mentioned you might be able to help me with that.
Ah, you're making some friends, I see. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is a man with a heart of gold. When he's not being pain in the ass, anyway.
You seem pretty popular yourself. Are you some kind of recruiter? Bringing folks to Strider, mingling with scientists, cozying up to SCAR. And you keep popping up wherever I go, too.
Must be the zone's will. Nah, there's a plenty of recruiters here without me. By the way, there's that stalker who showed up after the signal, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Ever heard of him? He's a legend around here. I hear he's putting together a new crew. He doesn't like what's going on in the zone and he wants to shake things up.
How can I find this STALKER guy?
Nah. I might have said too much already. Either the zone's gonna help you, or STALKER will find you himself. But I don't think you two would hit it off right now. As long as you and SCAR keep looking for the Shining Zone, you better stay away from STALKER. He doesn't trust or cooperate with anyone. Can you really blame him?
There are no trustworthy people in the zone. STALKER's got that right. Looking for allies is a waste of time. Speaking of which, do you know anyone on this list?
I know one of them, Dvupalov. He's a real grump when he's sober, which thankfully isn't often. He's usually holed up in his old hideout and doesn't entertain visitors. If you want to talk to him, you'll need to bring him a collar from a mutant. He used to do some research with the collars and now he just collects them. Talk about sentimental.
Can you take me to a place where I can hunt some mutants in collars?
You know I don't guide anymore. Not after I got Joker and Barch killed. I don't want anyone else to trust me and end up getting hurt.
Remember when you led me out of those anomalies when we first met? You saved my life that time. Let's try it again.
I, hadn't looked at it that way before. Alright. Let's give it a shot. I just hope neither of us regrets it. Well, here we are. And yet nothing's happened. Nothing at all. Feels kind of off. Sorry, I can't join in on the hunt. I've got a bad feeling about this skiff. I'll end up missing the target and hitting you or something like that. I'll just hang back here. It's better for both of us, really.
Son of a bitch! It ain't coming out.
Watch out. This one's a sneaky little prick.
Looks like you made it and got the collar, so you're good to go to Dvupalov. I've tagged the location of his hideout for you. You should be able to get there just fine. If he asks you for a password, just say the leash.
Your bad luck seems to be over. Are you gonna guide people again?
We'll see about that. It's too risky to rely on a single success. Even if I don't hurt anyone, I'm still a long way from becoming a true guide.
How does someone become a true guide? What does it take?
The guide, who used to help STALKER, shared something with me once. If you manage to find the rarest artifact, the heart of Chornobyl, you can learn to understand the zone as though you were one with it.
Where do I find this heart of Chernobyl?
The guide said it's supposed to be in the Dead Valley. But that's no place for regular folks. You'd need gear that hasn't been invented yet. Or have the abilities of the guide himself. It's a vicious circle. SCAR keeps saying only a miracle can help me. But I'm beginning to question whether we've got the same kinds of miracles in mind.
Is there anything else I need to know?
Colors aside, Dvupalov's only been working on one project lately. Vodka. Making it and drinking it. If he offers you a drink, don't turn it down, or you won't get any business done. But don't try to outdrink him either, or you might find yourself beyond medical help. You wanna chat?
You can get used to anything with enough time. Anomalies and artifacts, monsters and bandits. You end up feeling like the mainland doesn't even exist. Nothing but the endless zone out there.
See ya.
The leash.
Come on in, and don't drag your feet.
If you only got one, don't expect a big payout.
Hand it over. You're new around here, aren't you? Or have I just forgotten you? I had an assistant I'll never forget, Nightingale. It was a delight to work with and a great drinking buddy. It's a shame he's gone. Think you can fill his shoes?
I wasn't planning to. I'm here about...
I know what you're here about. The first ones in the house. But we'll enjoy it right here on the spot. You can fetch the bottle from my lab. It's just down the hall. I'm starting to sober up. And when I'm sober, I tend to do things I regret later. Might just as well tell you to fuck off. Go get that vodka, Stalker, and then we can chat. It's an elixir you'll light and never forget. I'll remember. All right. Let's sample the goods. Let's have one. And then we can talk about what, where, and how much. Here's to the start of our partnership.
All right. Here's to our partnership.
Not even a flinch, huh? That sort of bravado is gonna impress me. When you're drinking, you've gotta put your heart into it. So, Where are we? How about another one?
Let's toss another one back.
You're definitely not a grad student. That's a good thing. Look, about those scholars. Leave them out next time. The shop's closed. What's the point of stocking up on collars if I don't have a leash? It was a promising project, sure. But it's time to bid it farewell. Bottoms up, Stalker.
Okay. Bottoms up, Professor.
I see you're a man of ambition. Great aspirations, I'd even say. I'll drink in me for one. That's what I like about you. Maybe I'd like Sherbat too, if he could drink like a man. But he just comes in, asks questions, and fumbles around. What am I supposed to talk to someone like that about, Let's take you, for instance. What do you want to talk about?
How do you destroy phantoms and defeat someone who can create induced illusions?
Shin double, eh? You probably just had some bad vodka. Try some of mine. It's good for more than just keeping radiation at bay.
When I saw the man who created those phantoms, I was stone cold sober.
Ha ha ha. And I was stone cold sober when I saw evidence that it was impossible. But who am I to forbid you from living in a world of illusions? If you're really so eager, drag your ass to X5. That's where the whole three-ring circus used to be. Try to find a blueprint for the suppressor. It's out to help you. I'm all out of vodka anyway. Come on. I'll give you the key card for the lab. The colors were a crude instrument. The suppressors, on the other hand, they were designed to dampen abilities of a fighter. Now, where did I put it? No, that's just some junk. Ah, look, a pickle. I'll save it for later. Fuck, where are you off to? The artifact just popped out of the still. Grab me, Stalker. Left. No, right. Catch that sucker! Left. No, right. Catch that sucker! Left. No, right. Why, you're light on your feet, Stalker. You can hang on to this one. You've earned it. You went after that artifact like a bullet from a gun. Seems like I gave the keycard for X5 to Sherpa after all. That's why I hate teetotalers. The bastard must have caught me in a good mood. Anyway, if you want the suppressor, you need to talk to that boring grad student yourself. He's over in Agroprom, staying close to X5. And now for the fourth shot, the happiest of them all.
I ask you to vacate the premises. I'm occupying it and there's nothing here to take.
Calm down, Sherba. Vupalov sent me.
Is the professor doing okay? He didn't succumb to intoxication from that poison of his, did he? Its alcohol by volume is nearing pure ethanol. Not to mention the anomalous component. What a fall from grace. A great scientist resorting to making vodka.
Vupalov sent me to get the key card for X5. I'm looking for the Phantom Suppressor.
It took Vupalov a whole 6 months just to remember my name while I served him food every day. And now he tells you about the card right away? Did you drink with him or something?
It's tough to avoid having a drink with him.
That stuff is pure poison. All right, I'll give you the card. It's too risky for me in there anyway. But you've got to promise me that you'll search X5 for any papers related to the Controller project and bring them back to me.
Hand me that key card, and I'll see what I can do about your papers.
All right. It's not like I've got much of a choice. But keep those papers in mind, Stalker. You'll need to head all the way down, but if you're willing to do the job, I'll make it worth your while. I'll go check on the professor in the meantime. Seems like every time I look away, he's got a new drinking buddy. You haven't gone to X5 yet? Don't forget to look for the Controller project papers while you are there. If you've got any questions, now's the time to ask. I need to check on Professor Vupalov.
Why do you even bother helping Vupalov?
How can I stand by and watch a scientist of his caliber kill the few brain cells he has left? He has invaluable knowledge and skills, the kind that are not taught at Malachite, especially nowadays. The professor has no right to go down this path.
Why do you want those papers?
I tried to convince Professor Vupalov that I'm a worthy successor to his great work, but all I received from him was a couple of his drafts, one of which had been used as a food wrapper. I'm talking about research that could etch our names into history. Since the professor doesn't seem to recognize it, I'll take it upon myself to finish the job for him.
Since I'm headed to X5, tell me about the lab.
Until recently, no one even knew it existed. The research there was classified, and the lab had been mothballed for quite some time. Then Duty did some cleanup with heavy explosives there, and found hidden levels beneath Agroprom. I used certain informal channels to reach out to the professor. That's how I found out it was an old mutant research lab. I can't even begin to fathom what's going on in there right now.
Tell me what you know about the Controller project.
The Controller project did involve some research on phantoms, but its main objective was to develop specimens modified with both biological and technological enhancements. Unlike their mutant predecessors, which were impossible to keep in their cages, these were meant to be trained as soldiers to protect Project X personnel. Can you imagine? Not even STALKER is attempting anything like that nowadays. They haven't even managed to create a single new specimen. You may go.
You're having trouble sleeping too, I see. Let's get started early today. We're going to explore how your brain responds to metaphors and imagery. Empathy and abstract thinking. Those are the traits that separate us from simple beasts. And they're what separates you from the other mutants. In theory, at least. I rummaged through my library and came across something that suits our circumstances perfectly. I hope you won't mind a little poetry. Not backwards, forwards is the spirit side. This moment now alone is our delight. From what I have observed, he's more than a work of art. He hasn't ceased to amaze us since he was connected to the Monolith Network. Faust opts to encourage the fighters, to inspire them, rather than relying on his control abilities.
He's not just a soldier. He's a general.
Yes, you make a good point. Remind me, where are the blueprints for the suppressor?
My head. Fuck. I can't let history repeat itself. Today is March 3rd, 2017. You're STALKER. You used to work at S.T.A.L.K.E.R, but you quit and tried to sabotage X-11. You failed. Escape to the mainland. Go into hiding. Then come back and make sure those bastards can't complete Project X.
What was that? Hold him down. I'm reloading.
The Stalker, he's back! Those papers I mentioned, do you have them?
Where are your manners, young man? You won't even offer a man a shit and pour him a cold one?
Here. I don't want to be anywhere near these things.
This is... Yes! This is it! At last!
There's nothing exciting in there anyhow. I've told you before, young man, if even my own work can end in failure...
Faust wasn't exactly... a failure. In a way. Haven't you heard? He tapped into the X network, brought the monolith back, and caused a bloodbath all over the zone.
So he's... your project? The abilities you incorporate...
Shut up! I knew I was right all along. So that bunch of old farts in pots haven't given up on my research. Hooking him up to the monolith was a stroke of genius.
Thanks for those papers. They're a treasure worth all the years I spent at Malachite. We'll stay in touch. I've got grand plans for the future.
And I told them that the only way to create a true controller is to preserve his capacity to think, to feel, and make decisions. Sure, right now the choices he's making don't align with what the Ward, the NDST or anyone else had in mind. But I did succeed.
The MDST? What's that?
The scientists from Project X who, unlike me, were eager to continue their research even after it was officially shut down. It appears they were the ones who made the Controller project a reality. Officially, they had no funding or approval to proceed. However, C Consciousness wasn't content with merely creating the zone. They were determined to safeguard a pitiful existence. That's why they needed the monolith. And later on, Faust and his abilities.
Why did you create Faust?
The mutants turned out to be far too unpredictable, useless, and downright dangerous. The aim was to mold them into obedient soldiers. The Liege had some success with more primitive tools. But I believed we were on the wrong path. The error, I thought, lay in the very design of the controllers. Without consciousness and human empathy, their Psi abilities were pitiful. Faust demonstrated this vividly, but masterful tools necessitate much more precise fine-tuning.
Who is Faust now? What have you turned him into?
We granted him the abilities of a controller mutant. But I'm convinced that Faust has retained his humanity. See, there's no more Project X, no C consciousness, no MDST to protect. He wasn't being directed by a program. He initiated this of his own free will. I believe the monolith became an idea to him. Give a man an idea he can grasp, and he'll do much more than he would ever do cursed. I've always said that it works better than any leash.
I found the suppressor. Can you install it?
All right. I almost forgot the reason you're here. All the work I did. It's all become meaningless. You're going to kill Faust.
A lot of people died because of him.
Were they good people? Well, then find other good people to install the suppressor. I'm not a technician. You're as much of a fool as I am if you think you can set things right. The controller project was abandoned, and yet Faust endures. Monolith disappeared, and now it has returned. Go ahead and kill Faust, Stalker. It won't change a thing. You'll see.
Now that the treaty's been broken, I'm swamped with orders. Doesn't leave much room for creativity. You've got some tech to fix? Well, let's see it. I'm finished with it. Come back anytime.